What do you do if your grandma offers you a significant amount of money to help you get back on your feet? We'll get into that in a bit, but first, my 39-year-old male, girlfriend, 42-year-old female of 1 year, dad died 3 months ago. She's terribly lonely and wants me to spend all of Xmas with her. This will be the first Xmas I'm not with my family. I obliged to do so, but my best friends are also having a small Xmas event next Thursday. She doesn't want me going. So I feel like I'm being pushed into situations that I'm not comfortable with. Firstly, I just got out of a 10-year marriage last October, started dating my new girlfriend in January 2023, just 3 months after my marriage ended. I've routinely told her I need to take things slow and I'm still healing from everything. She has been mostly okay. To be honest, she's great and understanding and truly loves me a lot. However, I often feel like she's very demanding of my time, and I'm beginning to feel the need to push back a lot. Next week, I applied for the week off, but I told her before that it's not really a week off for me, as I have an important interview to prepare for in early Jan. It's a huge position at a FANG company that I've been told by my former manager, who's headhunted me for this role, that it's a 99% done deal, and the interview is just a formality, but I don't want to take anything for granted. They're interviewing other candidates too, so I told her I might need 1 or 2 days to spend time preparing. Anyway, she said that I can do that at her place. Now, while I can, she has 2 small kids, 8 and 11, who love me, but are constantly making noise. I've worked at her place before, using her son's bedroom to work. It's his room, so I've told him to come in anytime. So he does, but it's quite distracting. Her daughter also has no boundaries, and she's adorable as heck, so I can't say no to her. So I'm often very distracted at her place. So a few days ago, I reluctantly agreed to spend the whole week with her, 22nd to the 2nd, 11 nights. The most we've spent together is 5 nights. Some pertinent information: while her dad doesn't live here in the UK, he died in August, and while they haven't been close in years, she's very vulnerable right now. She has no family in the UK except her kids and maybe 2 close friends. I'm also not from the UK originally, moved here 8 years ago. Every year I fly back to my home country to spend it with my parents and family. I have 0 family here in the UK. I'm lonely too. I've made some good friends along the way, but given that my girlfriend wants to spend every weekend together, I haven't seen some of them in months. They're all mostly European and 2 Brits. They're all just going back home for the weekend and back on Tuesday or Wednesday. One of them wants to have a small Xmas housewarming at his new place next Thursday. My friends are great. I've known them since 2016 and I love them. Being alone in London was difficult, but these guys are great. Truly fun, caring, supportive, and like brothers. I would have brought her, but she doesn't have childcare and it's mostly just us guys. No one's girlfriend is coming, as we all haven't spent proper time together since July. After I told her I might have an event to go to on Thursday, she was unhappy the entire day afterwards. This morning, she sent me a long message saying how she feels I never want to spend time with her and that I go back on my promises a lot, and I didn't confirm with her before accepting their invitation. I always encourage her to see her friends, especially as she always complains she's lonely. Every single weekend since her dad passed I've spent with her. I've sacrificed a lot. I also paid for her flights for her to see her dad and go back for the funeral. I've paid for all of our vacations, dates, etc. Probably 10,000 British pounds by now. I'm not trying to bring money into this, but I've been extremely supportive and accepting of her and her kids. It just feels really one-sided right now, and I'm not happy anymore. There's been little incidents like this where she asked me to spend more time with her at her place, but I really had a lot of work to do and I have a 3-monitor setup at home. It's extremely difficult to work at her place with just my laptop. I know this comes from a place of her feeling lonely and vulnerable and wanting to keep her loved ones close, but the truth is, I can't do this, and I feel like even though it's a fairly minor thing, it shows such a lack of consideration of my feelings and needs, and it feels stifling. I have almost no alone time because I spend every Thursday to Monday with her, and the days I work at her place I can't really focus, so when I'm home in week, I'm constantly working till 7 p.m. and then in gym. It is driving me insane now. Is this normal to feel this way? I don't think OP's crazy or anything, and I completely understand where they're coming from. They're very vulnerable and they don't want to hurt them right now. But I feel like OP's doing themselves and their relationship a great disservice if they're not just being open and communicative about their needs too. The more OP isn't open about this and talks about it, the more they're just going to grow resentment for their own partner when it isn't necessary. Also, hi, I'm Steven, and if you guys enjoy tricky relationship topics, why not hit those like and subscribe buttons down below? Our next story is, I want to break up with my boyfriend because of his mom. I, 20-year-old female, have been dating my boyfriend, 20-year-old male, for more than a year now. 3 years ago, he said he liked me, then for personal reasons we drifted apart. When we met after 3 years, he told me he's not liked anyone since. And I'd always liked him anyway, so we agreed to date. At the start of our relationship, he had told me how strict his mom was, but I had no idea how bad it would be. She tracks my boyfriend's phone all the time, like every 5 minutes. And if he's not where he's supposed to be, or if the location is near my house, she'll freak out and spam him with calls. She coddles him like he's a toddler, and it really irks me. When she got to know he's dating me, she verbally abused him and me, called me all sorts of bad things and threatened to kick my boyfriend out if he continues talking to me. She checks my boyfriend's phone weekly, reminder that he's 20. He has to delete every chat, every picture. She doesn't know he has Instagram or she will literally freak out. She has almost an incest sort of affection towards him, i.e. she's mentioned to him multiple times how she is not the love of his life anymore and how he's betrayed his mom by dating me. I feel like he's attached to his mom in a weird way too. We have only been on one-on-one date in a year, and whenever I ask him to spend time with me, he says he's with his mom. I barely get any time with him to the point where I don't even feel like his girlfriend. I don't feel important. Throughout our relationship, I have to tiptoe around. When we video call and he has mic on, I can hear her cursing me saying I cast a spell on her son and that I made him disobedient and I'm a bad influence. Once, she even sent me a message requesting me to break up with him because he is only 20 and I am causing emotional stress to him. I love my boyfriend very much. He is the sweetest, kindest, most loving person I've ever met, but all of this is affecting me really badly. I have a few mental health problems, and the last thing I want is his crazy mom making me feel like crap. I just want a normal relationship. All of this hurts me. I just want her to like me, but I don't feel like it will happen anytime soon. Update: I feel really guilty for even thinking about breaking up because I don't think it's under his control. I don't know if I'm correct. His mom is definitely a narcissist, but I feel so guilty about leaving him alone like this. Am I doing the right thing? Update 2. Before posting this and reading the comments, I thought I was the one going crazy and being too hateful. As I struggle with BPD, this situation has in fact led me to dissociate a lot, where I even lost track of time, don't know what day it is, what time, which week I'm in, lots of depressive episodes. Thank you for opening my eyes, guys. I can't tell you how much relief I feel that I was not wrong for feeling this way because my boyfriend and his mom would gang up against me. I will break up with him and go no contact. Thank you so much, you all. I'm just really at ease knowing I wasn't the insane one as quoted by them. Really, thank you. There was definitely a level of behavior from him that clearly is endorsing or just allowing this kind of behavior from his mom to happen. If he's not capable of putting his foot down and being his own person and having his own personal space, he's probably not ready to have a relationship like he's trying to be. Our next story is, my boyfriend, 26-year-old male, really wants me, 21-year-old female, to convert to his religion. My boyfriend and I have been dating for 5 months now. He's my first boyfriend, and our relationship is almost perfect. We have a ton in common. We enjoy the same hobbies. He's kind and generous and super affectionate. I am so incredibly happy with him. The one and only problem in our relationship is religion. He is very devoutly Christian, and I am agnostic. We actually discovered this about each other on our first date, when religion happened to come up. He jokingly offered to convert me and ended up going on a long tangent about religion. In hindsight, maybe this should have been a red flag. But I was so excited to be dating someone who was so nice and easy to talk to. And I don't mind dating someone who's religious, as long as they respect that I'm agnostic. I've always made sure to be very respectful of his beliefs, and he seemed to be accepting enough of mine, though he made it very clear he doesn't agree with them. After dating for a few weeks, I wanted to make us official. When I told him this, he was suddenly extremely hesitant, and finally confessed that while he could be my boyfriend, we can never get married, and we can never have kids, because he's a Christian and I'm not. He still wanted us to keep dating, he would just never marry me. I was heartbroken. For me personally, dating is how I find my future spouse. I don't casually date, so this was really upsetting to hear. But I really liked him and cared about him, so we kept dating anyway. I just couldn't bring myself to end the relationship. As time went on, I started to notice him saying things like, "We should live in a house like that someday. Let's teach our kids blank," and other things about living together and having kids. Not actually making plans or anything, but just offhand comments every once in a while. This gave me hope that he had changed his mind and could now see a future with me despite our different religions. So about 2 weeks ago, I asked him if he had changed his mind. And after more hesitation, he told me that no, he has not changed his mind. He still can't see himself marrying a non-Christian. He said he was making those comments because he assumed he would be able to convert me someday. Even though I tried to compromise with him, like offering to go to church with him, and allowing him to raise our hypothetical kids Christian as long as I can still be agnostic, he wouldn't budge. He also made it clear that he doesn't understand my agnosticism, questioning how I can be a good and moral person if I don't have a religion to base those morals on. I started to get really frustrated and it turned into a fight. He ended up telling me he loves me. I panicked and I was desperate to keep him, so I agreed to think about converting. He was overjoyed. Since then, I've been incredibly stressed. I've tried to read the Bible, I've tried to get into religion, but I just can't. It doesn't feel right to me. I realized that I can never give up being agnostic, but I don't want to lose the person I love. He said we should just keep dating. I agreed because breakup is unthinkable to me and we haven't talked about religion since. I know we've only been together for 5 months, but I truly am in love with him and want us to be able to get married someday if that is in the cards for us. I've learned from reading online that interfaith relationships can work, and I want more than anything for us to work out too. What should I do? Can I convince him to accept me despite our different religions? I mean, they told you at the onset of the relationship, we can never get married and we can never have kids because you're not a Christian. I mean, I get things can change when you're in a relationship and maybe your feelings can mold, but I feel like the bottom line here is unless OP changes a lot about who they are just to make their boyfriend happy, it's always sooner or later going to be an issue that rears up when things start getting serious. I'm not saying it can't work out for OP, but I think it's going to be rocky at best multiple times in the future ahead for them. Our next story is, my 24-year-old female boyfriend, 24-year-old male, keeps saying he slept with my sister, 28-year-old female, every argument. Ever since dating him for 2 years, I've gotten the feeling he may have been into her. He once told me she was more attractive than me in an argument. I never know how my boyfriend actually feels about me until we argue. Not everything that comes out of his mouth is true, but there's been times I have a gut feeling about how he might feel, and then when we argue, he verbally says everything I had a gut feeling about. I don't know what my sister or boyfriend's relationship is, but they've been friends for a minute. Before we got together and after, my boyfriend would bring up my sister constantly, and when she would come over, he wanted her to hang out with us. There has been times where my sister's even lied about my boyfriend when she didn't have a reason to. My boyfriend was honest about everything when it came to my sister, that my sister had to stop lying about certain things. I caught her in a lie and she got mad about it and screamed she didn't care about my relationship, but was lying to me to avoid being a mediator. About maybe 4 months ago, while him and I were broken up for a minute, he went over to her house. I never knew about it and neither told me. He did, of course, but when we were arguing, he said they didn't do anything and he was only there for 5 minutes. I don't know why, but we've gotten into a few more fights these past few months, and every argument he has mentioned that he slept with my sister. This afternoon, an argument happened over something petty, and this time he teased that I'm still dating, plus sucking, plus sleeping with him even after he had hooked up with my sister twice. I honestly don't know what to do with this, or if this is true. I know to break up with my boyfriend, but not sure about my sister since she lies as well. How do I proceed? Honestly, I think it comes down to what OP wants. I don't think turning to Reddit to decide for you is good in this situation. Obvious to say, this guy treats OP horribly and OP needs to leave him in the dust. Me, personally, if that was my sibling and they kept lying to me about that, I would certainly just at least keep a very far distance. Me and them, I would try to keep cordial at best. This next story is, I, 28-year-old female, need to ask/demand everything to my partner, 29-year-old male, even the tiniest thing in the world. We've been together for 5 years now, and we recently had a baby, 1-year-old male. He's a great guy. He doesn't cheat, provides for the family, I work too, and a present parent to our child. However, I always need to ask everything to him to the point that he can't function without me telling him what to do. We have designated house chores. I cook and clean the house and he washes the dishes and clothes, but he will not do it unless I say so. For me, it's unnecessary mental load if I need to ask constantly. I mentioned it to him many times and he will change, but only for a day or two, then the cycle will repeat. I understand and consider that he travels to work and I work from home, so there's a difference there. I'm not saying that he needs to do everything as soon as he got home, but at least do it without being asked to do it. I don't know what to do anymore since I communicated it to him already, but there's no improvement. I'm considering breaking up with him because I think I should save my sanity so I can raise my child in a healthy environment without an always angry mom, although it's very hard to decide because my reason is not within the social norm. He didn't cheat nor abuse me. Is this a valid reason, or am I just being demanding? I mean, essentially, OP's having to play mom to their boyfriend as well, and I think it's a very understandable thing that you don't want to have a relationship where you always have to do that. You want to be with somebody that shows their half of the responsibility in the relationship. Our next story is, how do I cope with jealousy? My 28-year-old female boyfriend, 35-year-old male, has to work with a girl who has a crush on him, and I hate it. So me, 28, and my boyfriend, 35, have been together for a year or so. This girl, 22, is a singer and has a few musical projects, one of them including my boyfriend who's a guitarist. In the past year, my boyfriend and I both noticed her attitude towards him changing. It's like, day by day she starts to get more gushed. She never attempted anything toward him, per se, like actually full-blown flirting with him, or something clear and obvious, but it's becoming evident that she really has a crush on him. I thought I was just paranoid and brushed it off at first, but it's not the case at all. Thing is, I actually liked her when I first met her last year, but now I can't stand the sight of her. I despise her for pretending I don't exist and being so enamored with my boyfriend. He assures me he would never leave me for any woman, including her, and he loves me, but I find myself every now and then lashing out at him and getting mad at him because of my jealousy. He never gave me any reason to feel like that, and I hate myself for doing it. I just can't stand that woman around him so often. I'm quite insecure and jealous because I'm sick of hearing how amazing and talented and beautiful and one of a kind she is. No one ever said this about me, ever. I hate her, and I'm afraid my boyfriend is just too scared to admit he would choose her over me. Anyone would. Last night I found out she would be part of 2 concerts he would have next year with his band. I'm seriously thinking of not attending anymore. I can't stand being humiliated again on that level, but I don't want to upset my boyfriend for not going. What can I do to deal with these emotions? I don't want to lash out at my boyfriend anymore because he really does not deserve it. What should I do? So, she hasn't done anything per se, although she has a very outward crush. Has the boyfriend done anything besides be around her? Any more than just being cordial when she's gushing over him? Like, if it's just OP's insecurity that's tearing them apart, that's not the boyfriend's fault. And if OP in any way takes that out on the boyfriend, I think that's just going to stress the relationship more and more. I think something like therapy would be really beneficial for OP in this situation because it just sounds like a lot of personal things that really is something that they alone have to work through. Our next story is, wife, 27, and I, 29, always get into arguments about splitting time during holidays. We've been together for 6 years. This is our second holiday season as a married couple. After several years of trying to see every family member on holidays, we finally decided this year to split Thanksgiving and Christmas between our 2 families. Her extended family lives 4+ hours away, so we're usually gone from Thursday to Sunday night staying somewhere down there so we can see everyone in that time. My family is split between my mom's and my dad's side, both of them living about an hour away from us. This year, we spent Thanksgiving with her family, and we're gone the entire extended weekend. So naturally, we're going down to see my family/families for Christmas. In the middle of planning this, my wife tells me that her parents want to see us on the day before Xmas Eve so that we can exchange presents while her siblings are in town. I have no problem with this. They're about 40 minutes away from my mom, and I'm told that we probably would stay a couple hours and exchange gifts and head back to my mom's. However, today she tells me that her mom expects us to come for lunch and hang out all day and leave after dinner, and I got upset. I told her that I want to spend time with my family this weekend because we did Thanksgiving with her family exclusively, and that this is a bit of a bait and switch from what was originally proposed. She says, well, my mom just texted me that's what the plan was, I didn't know before. I have siblings from across the country who are coming in that I see twice a year, and now I'll get an entire day less with them. She takes it as I don't want to see her family and that she would never make a fuss if the situation was reversed. She says I'm being selfish. For context, I am a bit hesitant around her family since they're very religious and I'm not, and I don't feel like I can be myself around them, but that has gotten better over the years. But this issue truly has nothing to do with that. It's really the principle of the whole thing that made me mad. Am I being unreasonable? Is there some way to resolve this for future holidays? What really sucks here is you guys made a plan, she all of a sudden wants to go against that plan and is calling you the jerk for not acquiescing. I guess she has no integrity. I think OP should be honest that she's being really manipulative and unfair to OP when they compromised and went to their family on Thanksgiving. That if she can't understand how black and white this is, then there's a real issue going on here. It's funny that she says if the situation were reversed, she would understand. Okay, well then pretend that the situation is reversed and go with the original plan instead. The one that doesn't actually break any promises. Is it hard to understand that? This next story is me, 24-year-old female, pressured into being around parents, 70-year-old male and female, creepy friend that calls my parents daddy/mommy. I'm a 24-year-old female who has elderly parents that moved here from another state a few weeks ago. They have a young friend, 42-year-old male, that they're close with. The 42-year-old male is creepy and I've expressed how uncomfortable I am with him and how I won't be around the guy. I've been very clear that I wouldn't be in the same room with the guy, which might be dramatic, but my parents have forced the guy on me too much. The man, 42-year-old male, is my parents' friend. The 42-year-old male man calls my dad daddy and my mom mom. The guy's wife, 38-year-old female, also calls my parents mommy and daddy. It's not a sexual thing. The guy pretends they're his parents. He moved here at the same time as him because he's addicted to them. He legally changed his last name to ours and he makes his kid call my parents grandma/grandpa, but he makes his kids call his actual real parents by their first name. This guy has done many things to try to hurt his own real parents and he has a lot of family issues. The man has used them and sponged off my parents for years. Even recently with staying at their house for free again for months, like the guy did for years, sponging off of them living rent-free for years as an adult. That's all good and jolly, their lives, their choices, their relationship, their business. The 42-year-old man is someone to them, and my parents feel like the guy is their family. He's not related to us in any way, not legally, not by blood, nothing. He just changed his last name to ours to renounce his real father's name and to hurt his mother. He had previously planned to change his last name, and his mother was devastated, so he had thought about changing his last name to his wife's name when they married. He got mad at his mother again, didn't invite his real mother to his wedding until the day before after people in his life guilt-tripping him, and he decided to change his last name to ours knowing it would hurt her. The 42-year-old man has said many times how much he hates his own parents, whom he lived with until he was 22 years old. His mother paid for his private college, his first or second marriage, honeymoon, and all sorts of stuff, but he still hates his mother for making him either move out of her house or stay on her couch when he was 22 years old, while he was using a lot of illegal drugs in her house like a certain powder, so he has a lot of family drama and problems. My parents feel bad for him and love the guy. That's their business, their relationship, and their life. But I'm uncomfortable around a 42-year-old grown-butt man that calls his elderly friend daddy and pretends I'm his sister. The 42-year-old male guy tells people I'm his sister, has my photo on his living room wall, etc. I've been very clear that I don't like this guy and will not be around him. This man used to flirt with me. He tried to date my rich cousins to try to get into my family by marriage and get my cousins' money. My two rich cousins dumped him. So he started flirting with me years ago, then he finally got married, then divorced, then married again. I mostly don't like the guy because he's manipulative, uses people, is creepy, takes advantage of everyone, is irresponsible, is lazy, etc. I know my parents love the guy and their relationships are their business. I just don't want them to try to force me to be around the guy again. My parents had a small holiday party and told me to invite their friends. We invited a few old family friends that predate this guy that he doesn't know. My parents made it seem like it was going to be a holiday party just for old friends and me and my friends. Instead, they invited this guy, his wife, and his kid, without telling me they were coming. I would have been happy to not attend the party had I known he had invited them, so I stayed in their office and then left through the side door so no one would notice after the party was loud enough to make the sound of the door not noticeable. How do I respectfully enforce the boundary that I will not be around this creepy guy again? How do I make it clear that my parents should not invite me over when they've invited this guy over? I think, tell them. And I would reiterate that not only do you not want to be invited if he's around, that if you are and you're tricked into coming here when he's there, that you will leave and that you probably won't be showing up again. At least that's what I would do if I were in an OP situation. I think that's a very reasonable boundary that they can express and enforce. Tell them you love them, tell them you want to see them, but you just can't if he's around. Our next story is, my grandma, female 90, has offered me, 26-year-old female, money, but I haven't accepted it. Long story short, I lost my job this year and I'm transitioning into a new career, but I'm struggling to get on my feet. I have a small amount of savings, $7,000, and stock that I can sell, $31,000. She offered me a gift that would probably be around $10,000. I keep denying it partly because no one, not even my parents, have ever just given me money like that. I've always been on my own. She said I need to learn how to ask for help. And maybe she's right. I always stand by the phrase, neither a borrower nor lender be, because I never want my decision making to be swayed by who has given me money. I want to call the shots in every sense of the word. I want to face my own consequences. Does that make sense? She can be really generous but can also experience mood swings and change her mind about people. I'm her favorite granddaughter, so I already know I'll receive inheritance. I think I'll ask for help down the line if things really hit the wall, or if I need a down payment or something like that. It's nice to know she has my back. Well, first of all, if I were in OP's position, I would be feeling so honored that anybody would be willing to try to help me out like that. If it's a last-ditch situation and you need some money, I would try to just take what you might need reasonably to survive. I would be thanking her immensely. I would definitely hesitate to outright take any money unless I needed it, but I would be so incredibly grateful. Our next story is, my girlfriend, 22-year-old female, doesn't want me, 22-year-old male, to go on a 1-month trip with my best friend, 23-year-old male. My girlfriend and I have been together for 4 years, living together for 2. I recently got an opportunity for a 1-month internship in a foreign country, crucial for my diploma. The job is good, and I believe it's a great opportunity for my career. Originally, I planned to go with my girlfriend, but due to work, she can't make it. I then asked my best friend to join me and he agreed. When I shared this with my girlfriend, she became upset, crying and expressing how much it means for her not to see me for a whole month. I genuinely love her and it's tough for me too, but I also don't want to miss out on this opportunity. She feels I don't care for her if I go, which isn't true. I feel like she might be guilt-tripping me to not go because she's upset. She mentioned that it would be somewhat easier for her if I went alone, but it would still make her very sad. Am I in the wrong here? I value her feelings, but I also want to make the most of this opportunity and navigate through the guilt trip. She's definitely guilt-tripping OP. I don't know if they're jealous that their friend is going to be able to experience this trip with OP and not her, but it's just not fair for her to try to tank OP and make OP feel terrible for going on this trip that is literally going to help their career. A good partner should be like packing their bags for them and say, listen, I'll be waiting that month for you and I'll be so happy when you're back. Her trying to do an utter tank job in this whole thing is very concerning. But with that being said, that's all the time we have for today. Now, if you want to hear another absolutely tricky relationship topic, check out that video on the left. Or if you missed my latest video, check out that video on the right. That said, I'll see you all next time with some more stories.